Welcome to today's video. I decided to come to one of, if not my favorite park in probably Metro Vancouver, all of the Vancouver area. This is called Lighthouse Park. It is on the north shore of Vancouver. As you can see, it is a rainy day, typical November, December Vancouver day, but also just an incredible day to come out for Lighthouse Park. A lot of people come to this park just to see the lighthouse. As you can tell by the name, there's a lighthouse here. But there's a really nice trail system all around this park that basically loops around, starts from the woods on this side, kind of make your way up, see an area of still remaining old growth, pretty large woods. You make your way back around to the water, past the lighthouse, and you end up on the west side of the park, which is called Juniper Point, and it has a lone arbutus tree sort of hanging off the edge of a cliff there. So I don't think the weather's supposed to change today at all. I am here just to see if I can capture anything. I'm hoping, actually still raining pretty hard, so I'm hoping to make my way up behind me sort of to the wooded area and to see if I can capture some fog, as you can see a little bit behind me here, through the trees up there. Let's see what happens, but otherwise should be a nice day. There's no one here, parking lot's empty. Perfect day to be out shooting. I think I have a potential first photo here. So behind me, I have a pretty nice scene with a few trees, good amount of fog, and a little bit of sort of foreground ferns. The problem with the forest always is just finding that foreground. Our forests, especially here, they've been logged and replanted, and so there's a lot of mess in the front, and so the challenge is to find the perfect foreground here and figure out what works, leading lines, light, and so I think I have a pretty nice one here. So I have the polarizer on just to reduce the glare on the foreground greens, and I'm going to try to take a photo with the trees here while we have the fog. It's raining, but not a lot. It's the beauty of being in the woods. It protects you from a lot of the water. So I'm going to attempt the shot here and see how it comes out. So this group of 3 trees really grabbed my attention here. Groupings are tough to do just because they could dominate the photo, the frame, especially if they're big trees like this. But I do like that at the bottom there's some light colored leaves. So I'm trying to crop the path here and just start the photo from the bottom. It is a long exposure, surprisingly, just because there's not a lot of light in here right now. And so it's about 5 seconds, but I've got the tripod and everything here, so that should be no problem. And I'm gonna see how this photo comes out. So it's the 3 trees, fog, a little bit of foreground, and see what that looks like. This is another just amazing scene here. As you can see, I have a big tree by itself surrounded by smaller trees, fog behind it, lots of green lush freshly rained on woods and bushes and ferns, and then there's one brown fern sort of clump right in front. So I think that creates an amazing contrast, and so I'm going to try to take a photo of this and see how that comes out. It's also a good way to show the effect of a polarizer in a scene like this. So you can see right now, this is without a polarizer, and you can see how much more glare is visible on the leaves in front, a little bit in the background, but mostly the foreground. And right now, again, there's a bit of bright light behind and they're wet, and so that's having an impact. And you see as I put the polarizer back on, look at that impact and how much sharper and more vivid, and obviously no glare on the front leaves, and what a difference that makes. So that's the goal for this one today, is to just kind of get that fresh forest color in this photo. What a scene. Look at this wall of ferns here. Just amazing. So it's a little path that walks up and then back downhill, and so as I'm coming up here I look over and these ferns just look so vivid and a little bit wet, so even more colorful, and obviously there's still fog happening behind. I don't really have a standout tree in the back, but the foreground is just amazing. So I'm doing a vertical for this one, just to be able to capture as many of the ferns as possible. And so again, polarizer 24-70 on 24, doing a vertical photo, and just fresh air, rain, quiet. It's amazing. One thing that's just incredibly important for me, and I know a lot of the other photographers that come out also do this, is to just make sure to follow the paths and don't step into areas that obviously aren't meant to be walked over. Moss, areas that are still sensitive vegetation. We have a lot of that here, and sometimes you look and maybe there's a photo that is kind of hidden in there, and so if you could go in, you could get something amazing. But I really never do that, just because if we all start doing that, then the areas that have those incredible forest floor life and biodiversity don't survive. There are a couple of parks in the area here that you can tell over the past 10-15 years people have started to veer off into areas they weren't supposed to, and if you visit now, you can see the new paths and just the change to the area. So that's always important, and again, there's plenty to see and photograph without having to step away. So I'm getting low to the ground for this photo. I have a foreground completely moss covered rock and a couple of trees in the back. Lots of fog. Fog has moved in again, which is really nice. And so I'm framing the rock, the foreground, with the two trees in the back and fog. I am focus stacking this one just because there's too close of a foreground element with the rock. So got that focus stacked. So 2 shots. I think it's 1 or 2 seconds, and using the polarizer, and we'll see what that looks like. But I do like the foreground. I don't usually do wide foreground, typical landscape shots, but I really do like this one here. Just another incredible scene here. I think I'm gonna probably zoom in for that tree that's right there in the distance. I really like the way the branches are standing out, but I'm gonna take a wide shot first on 24 probably, or 30 something, and then I'm gonna try to zoom in on that. Hopefully I don't have to change my lens. I really don't feel like taking the backpack out and changing lenses right now, but just absolutely incredible conditions. The tree in the back here has a few branches that are just moss covered and just catching the light the right way. So I'm gonna try to see if I can do a wide and then zoom in on that, but beautiful. Another really nice scene here. On the left side, you can see the yellow color still remaining for one of the trees. Sort of a naturally moody, dark blue fog. Not a lot of light coming through this scene. On the right side, you have the green moss-covered sort of witchy spiderweb looking branches on the top right. You have the color on the bottom left. Really, really nice, interesting scene. So I'm gonna try to take a photo here and see how that comes out. So I've made it out of the sort of the deeper part of the woods here from that Valley of Giants area, and now I'm on the east side of the park. It's called the Arbutus Trail, and as you can see, the ocean is behind me and the fog is gone here. So the best conditions were obviously in the woods deeper, but I feel like I got plenty of photos in there today. I really thought I would maybe have one or two, and I think I have a pretty good amount of photos that came out of that. Actually, probably the most I've ever gotten out of that trail specifically. So I'm excited to go home and take a look at these photos and see how they came out. I was planning to maybe stick around and go to the other side of the park for sunset, but it is still pretty cloudy, and so I may walk around, and by the time I get to the other side, if the conditions are good, I'll try to take a couple of photos, but if not, I may just hike the rest of the way, enjoy the quiet, still quiet on this side, and go home and see what I got for photos. But for now, I'll just keep walking here. Okay, maybe I lied. On the way back around, on the upside of the hill, there's still a good amount of fog and it's coming back down again. And so looking to my left is the ocean and there's not much happening, but looking this way, it's still pretty nice. And I do like these two trees, the V shape here. And so I've set up a shot with a bit of foreground, the V shape coming out, and then the fog behind them. Curious to see how this comes out, so let's see. Really nice scene here with the three trees. Again, another grouping, but these guys look a little bit better, this grouping. I did take another photo of another grouping. Maybe it'll make it to the video, maybe it won't, but this looks really nice. It's, again, I'm kind of deep now down in the woods, so I've come down a bit, and so it's a bit darker here. And so we have, again, blue looking fog, three trees nicely aligned, and then just a good array of colors in front with the ferns and bushes, a little bit of browns, greens that are fresh. So we're gonna try a wide shot here and see what that looks like. I'm really happy that I decided to come back into the valley and go for the woods. Just incredible conditions here today. There was nothing happening by the water, and I kind of figured that would be the case, but here it's just amazing. All the big trees as far as you can see, and fog everywhere. So I'm just going to play around with compositions, see what I can get. This is probably one of the better conditions I've ever had here, all these years of coming here. So lucky for me to be able to take photos here, and lucky to be able to film it and show you all. But yeah, I'm gonna just try a few compositions here. I think I have one in mind that's a bit zoomed in, and you can see all of these big trees in one photo. So let me see if I can figure that out. So I think I found a tree I really like. I've taken a lot of photos today that I think I'm gonna like. This tree, I remember this tree from a few times that I walked through here because it has the old growth sort of big tree behind and then a little dark bark tree going right in front of it. And so today I think I have the conditions. Again, foreground is fine, but I can frame the woods around it here. So I'm gonna try to take a couple of different angles here, walk around and see what I can get. But I really like this tree and I think today is the right conditions. Another scene walking right up the path here behind me. I think you can see already what I'm looking at here, 3, 4 big trees. And so I'm trying to set up the shot in a way so that the path isn't obvious. And that's not too hard to do. I have ferns blocking the top there. And then see how many of these trees I can fit in with the fog. But just such amazing conditions here. I can see all around me too. Have the big trees in every direction. And I still haven't seen a single person. I've been here for 2.5 hours, I think, by myself, just going around the forest. And yeah, it's good day to be here. Well, fair to say this has been an extremely productive day out here. I honestly grabbed the camera and came out and thought maybe I would have a photo or two. I wasn't sure the conditions will line up here. It's always very tricky in this park just because it's near the water. And so, you know, even if the woods and the mountains are foggy here, not a guarantee. But it's been a fantastic day out. I've been here for close to 3 hours now, just going mostly around the Valley of Giants. And I think I have quite a few shots that I really, really like. Some of them may end up on the website, but I'll obviously have shown you almost all of them in the video. And if not, I'll include a few at the end here. But yeah, I think I'll wrap it up here. I'm in the last stretch of the trail here and I'm exhausted. Doing videos is obviously new to me and it's very different than taking photos. You have to obviously focus on 2 different things. Don't miss the shots still, because I think priority 1 for me is still the photos. But yeah, I think as always, just a learning experience to start, and hopefully you're enjoying the couple of videos so far. Instagram and website are going to be at the bottom here somewhere and in the description. And yeah, I will see you all in the next video.